Every year I make a gift guide video, and this year I've asked a ton of people. I reached out on Instagram, I reached out on YouTube. I just asked a ton of people their opinions on the best gifts that they've ever received or things that they think are good gifts. So I put them all together, I picked out my favorites, and every year the gift guides that I make kind of focus around the 5 love languages, which is physical touch, quality time, acts of service, actual gifts, also words of affirmation. So I'm gonna get right into it. There's quite a few things here. As we know, there's a lot of supply chain issues right now, so I tried to emphasize on things outside of that you can work around that, things that you can buy locally, things that you don't actually have to purchase, etc. Let's start off with my favorite love language, which is quality time. A membership somewhere would be a fantastic idea. So let's say this person that you're shopping for really likes to spend time in a museum or really likes to watch movies. A membership to a museum or a cinema, like, I don't know, Regal theaters. If you get it for you and that other person, you can always go together, which is nice. So you build in quality time and also get to know each other more and on a more intimate level, and also start a conversation as well. In that same family, you can always sign them up for a cooking class or a ceramics class if that's what they're interested in. There's also Skillshare Masterclass, which I've done last year with my own money. So if someone signed me up for one and purchased it for me and also did it with me, I think that would be fantastic. It's a learning experience on both ends, and it could be really fun. One of my favorite things to do is to make dinner for my friends, and I think that's such a loving and nourishing and intimate thing to do. So if you know someone who already has everything and they just love to spend time with you, maybe like make them a nice dinner, light some candles, get a really nice bottle of wine or whatever they like to drink. I think that's so fun, and I feel like not a lot of people do that for each other. My boyfriend does this pretty often, and I think it's so sweet. So he'll plan a camping trip and he'll do everything. So like pack all the equipment. It just takes a lot of planning and I guess emotional labor and actual labor as well. So I feel like that's such a great gift to give someone because you get to spend time with them. I've never done this, but I know a couple people have done this. They're called artist retreats, and you can look them up on Airbnb, for instance. And there's also silent retreats or meditation retreats and stuff like that too. If you're going on a trip with a loved one, I think it's such a fantastic idea to create these Google Maps and kind of plan out days, just so that if you have some time off, that labor has already been removed because you've already done your research in advance. Plan that out for someone. You make them a little like pamphlet or a little booklet of things you want to do. It's such a sweet way to invest your time into something and share it with a loved one. Moving on to the next thing, which is physical touch. I mean, the obvious, giving someone a massage or getting someone a scheduled appointment to a massage or a facial or a pedicure or a manicure. A spa date would be really nice. I think it's great for someone like me because I usually just purchase whatever I want or need, like physical items. But when it comes to something that's such a luxury, in my opinion, I don't really spend it on myself. So if someone else were to purchase it for me, if you were to purchase it for someone that you love, I think that's such a nice gift. And there's also Reiki. I have a friend, Mars, who does that in Long Beach, and she travels around and stuff too, but I didn't really deeply believe in Reiki or anything, but I was having really bad nightmares for a while, and she came in and gave me Reiki. And I think it's just I don't know, like I was reading on a lot about it, and I think it's because she was putting a lot of attention and love on that subject, or just on me. It just made me feel seen, and yeah, it was just really sweet. Even if you don't feel like you believe in Reiki or Reiki healing, it's just nice to have that attention in a way. There's also sound baths, which I guess it's not really a physical touch thing, but it does feel like a touch because when you're laying down on the ground, if you've ever been to a sound bath, there's like all these bowls and you feel the vibrations through the flooring. So to me, the vibrations is almost like a physical touch. Now, if you don't have the means financially, or I know a lot of places aren't really open up right now for spas, you can also just do this for the person that you love. So give them a spa day, like do it at your house, you know? Just get all the supplies for it. You can also give them a pedi or a mani if you're good at that. Give them a massage, give them a facial. It just makes people feel very special in that moment. Before I get into actual physical gifts, I things you can purchase and things you can hand off, I just wanted to say that this video is sponsored by Gantry. We all know overhead lighting can kill the vibe. Imagine this, you're at a bar or club with a sexy potential and you look great, you feel great, and then suddenly the bartender turns on the overhead fluorescent lighting and screams last call, and you squirm like a beast in the night, knowing very well that no one looks good under those conditions, right? So in the last year or so, I decided to start switching over to mood lighting, like actual placed lightings around my house. And I've used my gantry lights for about a year now. Actually, it's been well over a year now, and I really like it because the lights are all dimmable, which is super important. It just feels cozier. So again, all the lights are dimmable, stylish, and they boost the vibe. Daylight savings just happened, and I know that even though it's just an hour transition, I just feel a bit jet lagged all the time. So having lights come on at a particular time, I have them on like these little timer things right here. Having the lights come on at a certain time every day really boosts my productivity. Gantry lights are made in California using plant-based materials, kind of like those compostable iced coffee cups. These lights are designed in collaboration with a bunch of designers, and they start at $98. It's a great housewarming gift, it's a little bit unexpected, and it's great for someone who already has everything, because everyone can use lighting. You can check the quick ship option to see what's available now. Everything else is made to order as a part of Gantry's sustainable practices. So if you're looking to get some lights, go ahead and use my link and code, and I'll leave all the information in the down bar as well. And thank you again, Gantry, for sponsoring this video. On the subject of lights, I just wanted to mention these two things right here. So I have this timer right here, which I love because I live alone and oftentimes I get home pretty late, and I like to just have the lights pop on in my house. I have these set on multiple lights, so they'll just turn on at different times. I know it's a false sense of security, but I like knowing that these lights popped on. I have this thing right here which is really funny. It's called the clapper. Do you remember when you used to clap twice and then lights will turn on? So this is the original clapper. You clap twice or clap 3 times and it controls different things. So it could be that you want to turn on your Alexa or your Google Home or something like that. Sometimes my Alexa will turn on in the middle of the night and it spooks me out, so I like knowing that I can clap her on and clap her off completely. Camilla bought me a Cooks Illustrated subscription for last year, and that was probably one of the best gifts I've ever received because I love cooking. I love Cooks Illustrated. I actually watch a lot of their YouTube videos as well. I've just always loved Cooks Illustrated because like everything's, you know, drawn out and the explanations are great and they update a lot of things, and yeah, I just really rely on them on a lot of cooking things. It's something that I can learn from. Yeah, so if you have a friend and you know that they are interested in XYZ, maybe shop for a subscription along that line. So if they're really into hot sauces, there's a subscription for that, believe me. There's also a beef jerky subscription, which I've received from Nick like years and years ago. I just bought myself a subscription to the Criterion channel, which I absolutely love. I can't believe I waited so long for that. I've been watching so much stuff on my own. A Spotify subscription, a yoga or Pilates subscription. Just a subscription to something that you think that the person is interested in is such a fantastic learning experience. Again, on the subject of supply chain issues, so if you want to purchase something physically, I think a great place to start is to go to an art fair or a craft fair. My friend made this. This is from her brand called Muse, and she makes these little vessels that you can put flowers in, you can put your art supplies in, your brushes and stuff like that, and I think it's so cute. And she's based in LA. I think she does like the Fairfax, gosh, what is it? I think it's just like a fair on Fairfax and Melrose. I'll leave her information in the down bar if you guys are interested. But there's a lot of like local artists and local events that are gonna happen in the next few weeks, so keep an eye out for those people. You can always go to like a local ceramics shop too, and they usually have artists who will sell their things in the front store, or if you're able to walk through, what I like to do personally is I go to a ceramics place, and whenever there's something that I just absolutely love, I write on a post-it my phone number and my info, you know, so they can reach out to me. And I ask to purchase the item, and usually they'll say yes. In a way, you're supporting the artist directly, and it makes such a huge difference to support someone directly rather than go down a huge supply chain. So my sister has an Etsy shop where she sells these pre-made gift boxes, and they're great because everything's already packed together. There's like usually a little succulent in there, some tea bags and stuff like that, and she just puts everything together, and it's packed up really well and so cute. And then she ships it directly to the person, so you don't have to like deal with it at all. If you know the person more than that, if you're like a lot closer to the person and it's a bit more personal, you can make your own little gift box with a bunch of little things that you think that they would like and put it together. Mostly things that can be consumed, like little jams or like jellies and stuff like that, or pickles. I think that's great. Packing is a little bit difficult, so I like to usually go for a gift box service. I have here specialty foods, so like if a person really likes hot sauces, for instance. Maddie got me this one year, actually for my birthday this year. It's filled with these Del Taco hot sauces that I love so much. I used to go to Del Taco on like every road trip with her, and yeah, we just had Del Taco all the time because I'm obsessed with these hot sauces. And then she went on their website and found out that they bulk sell their hot sauces, and she bought me a huge box of them, which I'm still going through. Since then, I haven't been to Del Taco once because I have it at home. If you know that someone really likes hot sauces, for instance, you can get them like different types of hot sauces or different types of wine or different types of liqueur. Really, any vice would be such a sweet thing because that's kind of like an extra thing, because people usually know what they like and they stick to the same few brands or whatever, you know? So if you were to hit that same category but a different brand, or something that's a little bit unique or that's flavored a little bit differently, I think it's a very fun experiment. Art supplies. So my friend Nick one year bought his wife an easel and like paintbrushes and paint and just like the whole setup, you know, because she once mentioned that she wanted to start painting again. I thought that was so thoughtful, because to get into a new hobby, or she had already been in that hobby before when she was in college, but to get into a new hobby or to redo a hobby that you've done like in college or when you were younger, it takes a lot. Like if I were to get into ceramics again, I have to buy all the tools all over again, right? If someone were to supply you with all the tools to do what you are thinking about doing, if everything was laid out in front of you, you're a lot more likely to just jump in and start doing it. This is probably one of the best things that I bought myself this year. It's a Polaroid camera, it's the 1 Step Plus. My friend Emily told me about it, and I love it so much. And I think it's a fantastic gift because it creates memories. I have a cousin who's like a little bit younger, and I love getting him like little point and shoot cameras that are kind of like cheap and inexpensive. I'll get him like some film, and then he'll take his artsy fartsy photos, and it's so interesting to see how kids take photos, because they'll take photos of things that they think are important to them, right? So like their toys, like someone's under chin, or like their shoes, or like, yeah, it's just fun to see a young person like start to develop their artistic ability, or not, you know? I think cameras are a great gift to give a younger person, or to give yourself, because I love this camera. It's, yeah, absolutely the best purchase I made this year. I have a ton here, but reusable napkins. I started, so like at the beginning of the pandemic, I started buying a bunch of bandanas thinking that I would use that as a mask. I didn't end up using them as masks because they're not very convenient, but I started using them as napkins. But if you were to get someone like vintage napkins or vintage bandanas, or even start making them yourselves, so if you go to like a dead stock fabric store, for instance, and then you start making napkins, I like to get them like in a set of 4 at a time, and I like to mix and match them using old textile and stuff. I think it's such a great gift, and it's so useful, and it's a great way to nudge someone out of using those disposable towels. Homemade gifts are some of my favorite gifts of all time, so fresh baked cookies, pickles. I just got this jar of pickles, or banchan, from the photo studio that I go to, oddly enough, and yeah, she just handed this to me with like a set of cookies, and my mouth is watering just like talking about it, but it's so delicious. And I love pickles, and I love that it's something that is consumable, so after I finish it, it's done. Also, last year I bought my boyfriend a bunch of stuff so that he can make his own pickles. So yeah, getting someone a kit to make their own things. Stephanie made me this last year. I think it's so cute. It's a little beaded necklace that says my name on it. And there's so many different ways to go about it too. There's a lot of people who are designers who will charge like hundreds for their necklaces and stuff. So if you have the capacity, you have the tools to make it yourself and give it to someone, I think it's so cute. You can make them as keychains or phone charms as well too, which is really cool. On to acts of service. Now, I know I talk a lot about this. An emergency kit or like an emergency go bag. is such a great gift because it takes a lot of effort to compile all these things together and cater it to your person's needs. And it's different from city to city. Obviously, everyone has different needs. I keep talking about this and I don't even have mine set up. So I think if someone were to do it for me, that would be fantastic. And it doesn't take that much money. It just takes a lot of research and time. So if you compose an emergency kit and put everything together, maybe even have a list at the top of the huge Tupperware container that you have, or a backpack, so that people can keep cycling through things that they need to update. It's thoughtful and it's a sense of security in a way. House cleaning or car cleaning, oh man, my car is always a wreck. So if someone were to purchase a car detailing for me, that's such a nice gift because I would never do it for myself. And then a house cleaning for someone who needs a deep cleaning or wants a deep cleaning, oh yeah. I mean, everyone would love that. There's a place called Flamingo Estate near my house and they have produce. So if you get someone a produce box, CSA box, or even if you were to just go to a grocery store and get them individual items, you know, and put it in a basket, it's something that is consumable. It's also very thoughtful, and it's also a push for the person to research ingredients and look up ways to make different things. All right, the last thing I have here are words of affirmation. If you were to make someone, a lot of people mention this, a mixtape or a playlist on Spotify, for instance, I think that's a great gift because it kind of tells them how you feel without actually physically writing it down, you know? It's a great gift. Someone actually made me a physical mixtape once and I love listening to it. I listen to it all the time. And it doesn't just have songs on it. There's like also speaking parts and like movie clips, or like the sound of an audio version, I guess, of a movie clip. And then also like poems and stuff like that too. So I think that's great. Also, if you were to get someone a journal and write a little note, my friend Katie likes to do this often, but she'll write like notes in something and give it to the person. If you get them a book that you really like and write a note and the reasons why it reminds you of them, I think that's a fantastic gift as well. So yeah, I think that's about everything that I have here. I really hope this gift guide alleviates any anxiety for anyone who is stressing out during the holidays. And remember, you don't always have to buy physical gifts or spend money in order to give someone you love a gift. I hope this helps. If you have any other suggestions, please leave a comment, and thank you again for watching. Thank you, Gantry, for sponsoring this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.